So today I thought I would tell you guys about my favorite line of accessible keyboards. Hey guys, my name is Sam. Welcome back to The Blind Life, where I help you learn how to live your best blind life. All right, today we're talking about the Logickeyboard line of accessible keyboards. Now, here's the thing about Logickeyboards. They make professional grade keyboards. A lot of the professionals in the video editing industry, they use Logickeyboards. So these are really high quality professional keyboards. I started using a Logickeyboard probably about 6 years ago. And the one thing I love, well, one of the things I love about Logickeyboards is when you go to their website and you're looking at the tabs across the top, usually a company like that will have a products tab and you drop it down and then it has all their different products. Well, Logickeyboard actually have a standalone tab for their Assistive line of keyboards. And it's not just keyboards for the blind and visually impaired community, but they have keyboards for reading impairments like dyslexia, cognitive impairments. So it really shows their dedication to providing high quality equipment for the disabled community. And so, like I said, I've been a fan for many, many years. And recently when I was at the CSUN conference, I had a chance to talk to the people working the Logickeyboard booth. In fact, a very, very nice lady named Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm with Logickeyboard.
And I was telling her that I would love to feature them on my channel because I've been such a big fan for so many years. And they were very, very kind and gracious enough to send me several keyboards to show you guys kind of a sample of what they have to offer. So before we get started, huge thank you to Logickeyboard for sending these out. Now, they're not paying me for any of this. They did send these keyboards, and I'm very thankful for that, but no money changed hands or anything. Everything I tell you guys in this video is my own personal opinion. So I do have a sample of their large print keyboards, but it's just a small sample. If you go to their website, which I'll have a link in the description down below, they actually have 12 large print keyboard options. They have 9 full-size wired keyboards, and then they also have 3 large print Bluetooth keyboards. So real quickly though, a little bit about the hardware for the full-size wired keyboards. These are fantastic and they're really, really well made. Like I said, professional grade keyboards here. Really, really solid. The keys are kind of a low profile style of keys. Not nearly as low profile as like a laptop, but they're not as tall as some other keyboards are. And at first I wasn't crazy about that. I prefer a taller key on a keyboard just for the tactileness of it. You know, for me, it's easier to find my keys just by feel if they're taller and the spaces in between the keys is larger. But once you get used to typing on these, I actually find myself being able to type faster and more reliably than on some other larger keyed keyboards. But anyway, full-size QWERTY keyboard with the number pad off to the right, full row of function keys at the top, including some media control keys off to the top right. Very, very high quality kickstands on the back. These little things that will raise the back side of the keyboard up so it's more at sitting more at an angle. One of my favorite features, which all of their keyboards have, except the little Bluetooth ones, which we'll talk about here in a minute, is USB ports on the end. Most of their keyboards have 2 USB ports, one on each end. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you guys know how I feel about trying to plug things in. Generally, it's a nightmare. I made a whole video about it, and even in that video, I talked about how difficult it is oftentimes with computers plugging in USB flash drives or USB cables. So having a USB port right here on the top of the desk on the keyboard within easy reach I love that. I would pay extra money for that feature alone. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the styles. Remember, these are just a couple samples that I have to show you guys. I definitely recommend checking out the website to see all the different styles they have, color combinations they have within the large print section. Also, something to mention, all the keyboards that I have are Windows keyboards because I'm a Windows user, but they do offer their large print keyboards in Windows, Mac, and Bluetooth. All right, first, my personal favorite, because it just works the best for me, is the inverted style. This is the white letters on a black key. And in this particular example, the keys are on a black keyboard background. So I don't know why, it just works the best for me personally. But because we're not all the same, we have other options. Very similar to the inverted, this is a white letter on a black key, but the key is on a silvery metallic keyboard surround. So the background for the keys is this metallic silver color. And I think this is great because this adds a lot of extra contrast, especially like here, the arrow keys, they just kind of stand out against this gray background, makes it easier to find just at a glance. So this is really, really nice, fantastic. And of course, USB ports, all the same as before. And then a similar design, we have the very high contrast yellow letters on a black key on that silver metallic background. Exactly the same as the one prior, but now we have yellow letters, adding another element of high contrast to this. And then if you need even more contrast, they also have a backlit keyboard. It's exactly the same as this inverted design here, but all of the numbers, the letters, all the keys are backlit as well. And you even have multiple levels of brightness you can choose from. I personally love a backlit keyboard, especially if you're working in a low light environment, like maybe a bedroom or something like that. Large print is fantastic, but if the lights are down low, large print just isn't enough. Especially when you're trying to find some of these random keys over here that you don't use that often, insert and home and print screen, all of that. Having those keys lit up and glowing nice and bright, fantastic. I don't have that one right in front of me because that's the one I'm using on my main computer downstairs because I love it so much. And then, like I said, we have 3 options for small Bluetooth keyboards. These are not a full-size QWERTY keyboard because it doesn't have the number pad here off to the right. It's got everything else. Also, something to note about these is it seems to be a little bit lower profile than the full-size keyboard. And I suspect that that's because the Bluetooth keyboard is designed to travel. You know, this is something you're going to just slide into a bag along with your tablet and take with you somewhere. So it needed to be a little bit more slimlined design. Personally, I can't type as quickly on this as I can on the full-size keyboard. It would definitely take me some practice to get up to speed, but still very nice to have. The Bluetooth keyboard does not have the USB ports. Also, it takes 2 AAA batteries, which you do get in the box. But other than that, it works great. Connected via Bluetooth, no problem, and works really, really well. You do have the arrow keys down here, so when you're using like VoiceOver or TalkBack, you can use those for navigation, and it works really well. And then finally, I wanted to talk about their Braille options. They do have Braille keyboards. Once again, Logic Keyboard, man. I mean, they're really thinking about us and what we need as users in the disabled community. But they have 2 options, a fully Braille keyboard and this one, which is Braille and large print together. For all intents and purposes, exactly the same as the other full-size keyboards. It's just that all the keys have both large print and Braille. And I'll do my best to get a close-up shot of the Braille so you guys can see that. The other keyboard has no large print, it just has Braille. having a Braille keyboard that they can continually get that reinforcement of the letters and all of the numbers and all of that could be really helpful. I could also see this being very helpful for a teacher, maybe a teacher of the visually impaired. Maybe they are training Braille, or as part of their education they need to learn Braille. This could be helpful for them as well. Either way, nice to see two different options of Braille. So regarding performance, very, very high quality, no complaints about performance. As I said before, I find myself being able to type much quicker on these, especially the backlit keyboard. For some reason, those keys are extra soft. I guess has something to do with the fact that they light up, but those keys are extra soft and extra quiet. That's another thing I noticed immediately when I transitioned from my older keyboard I was using downstairs to the backlit Logic keyboard. In fact, this is the keyboard right here. If you can hear this, versus the Logic keyboard. And the backlit one is even more quiet than this one is. There's something to be said about that. I don't know if you guys have ever been sitting in a room with a coworker or family member or something, typing away on a loud keyboard. It can drive you crazy. But it's definitely improved my typing skills. I have much less mistakes using the Logic keyboard. Now, of course, your mileage might vary. I'm not guaranteeing that if you get one of these keyboards, you're just gonna become a typing pro or anything like that, but I have noticed an improvement in my typing. And then, of course, the build quality. Immediately, you can tell that these are just really, really well made. Even the packaging, I mean, they all have this plastic on the back, like you would find on a brand new TV, and you have to peel the plastic off. All the keyboards have that as well. It just indicates that this is a high quality product. Also wanted to mention, in most of the full size large print QWERTY keyboards here, in the box you also get one of their Logic Lites. This is a little USB keyboard light. It has USB at one end, the other end has a row of LEDs and a little touch sensor on top. You plug this into the side of your keyboard and it just provides some extra light onto the keyboard. Once again, if you're in a low light situation, that could come in very handy. And that's just included in the box with your keyboard. I've been using this one for years and I'm very, very happy with the backlit keyboard that I'm using now on my second computer. So I don't have any complaints at all. If I had to nitpick something, I do wish the little bump on the F and J key was a little bit more pronounced. It's difficult for me to find, and you know, I'm blind, I've got sensitive fingers, and it's like it takes me a little while to, okay, where are you? Where are you? See, I've even lost it already. These bumps, they're just a little small. But I've got a pro tip for you, something I do on every single one of my keyboards. I put little bump dots on the F and the J. See here? Bam, there it is, right there. Bam, there's the F, bam, there's the J. Much, much easier to find. Throw on some bump dots. Okay guys, so that was it. That was a look at my favorite line of assistive keyboards. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, huge thank you to Logickeyboard for sending these out to me. As I said before, I will have a link to their website down below. I'll also throw in some Amazon links, and I'm also going to include those into my Amazon shop. Amazon.com/shop/theblindlife. If you have any questions for me, as always, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to help out. Huge thank you to everybody who has helped support the channel by either becoming a member of The Blind Life or clicking on the thanks button that is right below the video. Huge thank you for all those donations. It really helps out the channel, helps us to grow and continue on. For more information about becoming a member, or my Amazon shop, my other social media, my website, all of that information is in the description down below. But that is it, guys. As always, Sam with The Blind Life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.